My name is Mike, and I am a truck driver by profession. This incident happened about 8 years ago. I used to drive a truck called a car carrier or hauler truck, on which 8 to 10 cars are transported from one city to another. Usually we get company orders to move 8 to 10 vehicles of the same company from one city to another. Sometimes we also provide door-to-door service. If someone wants to send their car to another city, they call us. Our company representative goes there, receives the vehicle, we make a checklist with the owner, inspect the car, mark whatever parts are okay, prepare a final report, and then the car is handed over to us. Our representatives collect cars from different places, bring them to one point, and load them onto the hauler truck. Sometimes accident-damaged vehicles are also loaded because they cannot be driven, or people get them transported by us on a bill of lading, transport document. I was the one driving the truck. During one such trip, something unforgettable happened to me. We collected cars from across the city, brought them to the loading point, and started loading them onto the truck. One car that had been in an accident was loaded last because it was difficult to load. It had to be lifted with a lifter and placed on the truck. Finally, we left Los Angeles around 12 midnight heading toward Chicago. My truck's speed had to be maintained at around 40 miles per hour because higher speed was not safe with the load, and it was dangerous for vehicles behind us too.
There was another driver with me because such a trip usually took 3 days to reach Chicago at this speed. We used to drive in shifts, sometimes him, sometimes me, and we would stop in between for food, water, prayers, and rest. If the truck got a puncture or broke down, we had to stop for a long time anyway. There were about 10 to 12 cars loaded on the hauler. Our plan was to cross a particular dangerous area after dawn when there was daylight, because there was a high risk of robbery in a remote stretch. So we planned the trip accordingly and set off. The journey continued as usual. We were still in California when we got a call from the office saying there had been a major accident on the main road ahead. They told us either to take an alternate route or to stop at a certain point until the road cleared. They said do not go to the crowded place. People were protesting there and the locals had blocked the road, so traffic was completely stopped. The point they told us to stop at was still about 2 to 2.5 hours away. They didn't mean stop immediately. They meant go to that point and wait there or find an alternate route. After the call, we discussed it. The senior driver with me said, "Keep driving. I'll take you to another road ahead. It's a longer route, but we can cross that area. It will take us about 8 to 10 hours completely off the main route." I agreed, because we kept getting updates that the main road might remain blocked for a long time. Safety was our first priority, because very expensive cars belonging to other people were loaded behind us. We always kept the car keys with us. The cars were locked and secured from below so they wouldn't move. The senior driver told me to take a certain turn. I took that turn and we continued. It was a bitterly cold winter night. Normally, Southern California doesn't get that cold, but in open areas with vegetation, you still feel quite chilly. It was peak December. We had the heater on in the truck. The truck kept moving. At first, I was surprised, wondering what kind of road he had brought me to, but since he was senior, I couldn't question him much. I also wanted the journey to continue. I was driving. He had stretched the passenger seat, put both feet on the dashboard, and was lying relaxed with his phone, probably using Facebook or something. 2 to 3 hours passed. We had taken the turn after passing through some habitation. Shortly after, that habitation also ended, and it became a completely desolate, eerie road. Hardly any vehicle passed by. On both sides were very old, creepy-looking trees. The area looked barren. I still don't know who comes on this road or why it was even built. I only went there once in my life and got so scared. The truck kept moving. After some time, he switched off his phone, closed his eyes, and went to sleep. That was normal. We used to rest like that. There was also a space behind the seats where drivers could lie down to rest. Before sleeping, he told me, after about 3 to 4 hours of driving, there will be some habitation. From there, 2 roads will go in different directions. At that point, wake me up or take the right road. If you get confused, just wake me. I became a bit overconfident. I smoked cigarettes and I had run out. Since it was such a desolate road, I thought it was a good opportunity. I had 2 to 3 cigarettes left, but I bought a new pack from a shop in that last habitation. When I left that place, I didn't even realize I had taken the wrong turn. It was the first left side turn, but it was a gentle left curve, so it didn't feel like a proper turn. I kept driving without realizing. After another 1 or 1.5 hours, I reached a place with rocky hills, no greenery, barren land. I had no idea where I'd come. Now I started feeling something was wrong. This didn't look like the way to the Midwest. No matter which route, such hills shouldn't appear on this side. I felt maybe I had veered toward a more remote desert area. I woke my companion. I said, "Brother, I think we have taken a wrong road." He woke up angry and started scolding me because company fuel was being wasted and we were both responsible. I told him I had no idea it was the wrong turn. I also said, "I'm feeling scared now. This place doesn't feel right." He said we have millions worth of cars behind us. We can't take the risk of going on a wrong route. If robbers attack us here, what will we do? We are just ordinary drivers. I got even more scared. Responsibility, fear of robbers, and whatever was happening on this road. Signal on our phones had also disappeared. We stopped, discussed. He said drive a little more. Maybe we'll find some habitation or another road. Instead of going back all this distance, wasting more fuel and time, let's see if we find something ahead. There was a risk, but we had already come so far. If no road appeared ahead, coming back would be our last option. We kept driving. He told me to focus only on driving, not to stop the truck under any circumstances. If something happens ahead, he will tell me what to do. I shouldn't panic. He took out a bat we kept in the truck for emergencies and placed it near his feet. Though it sounds strange, if robbers come with weapons, a bat won't help. But still, a drowning man catches at a straw. After he woke up, I became more scared of robbers than of whatever creature I had sensed earlier. Then after some time, he suddenly said, "Stop, stop, stop." I braked. He was looking toward his window side and signaling me to stop. He said, "Look there. Far away, there is a faint light. Someone is there? A fire is burning?" I asked what to do. "We can't walk that far. Should I turn the truck?" He said, "No, this is rough terrain. There's no proper road there. Better to park the truck off the road on one side, go there on foot, ask someone, and if no way ahead, we can return from here instead of going further blindly." I told him this place doesn't feel right to me. A little while ago, something white passed right in front of the truck. He said it was probably your imagination. "Don't worry, let's go there. If you're too scared, stay in the truck. I'll go and ask." At first, I said no. I won't stay alone here. Then he said, "Okay, come with me." But after thinking, he changed his mind. "No, you have to stay in the truck because the loaded cars are here. Someone has to guard them." His point made sense. I told him go quickly and come back quickly. He said he would try. I told him to lock the doors from outside if possible. He got down and walked toward that light. Within moments, he disappeared into the darkness. I pulled the truck off the road, parked it on one side, turned off all lights, headlights, cabin lights, everything. The truck blended completely into the darkness. I pulled all the curtains, like the curtains we hang on rods in trucks, across the windshield and both side windows. We usually do this to block sun when resting, but now it was to hide myself. Now I was sitting completely silent in the dark cabin. The silence was so deep that if a pin dropped, you could hear it. It was very cold. I reclined the seat, took out my phone, with sound off because even that scared me, and just sat listening. Now the real terrifying part begins. After quite some time, I guessed at least 40 to 45 minutes since he left, one of the loaded car's security alarms suddenly started blaring. Believe me, I jumped in my seat. That alarm echoed through the entire desolate area. Since one car started, others followed. Within moments, 10 to 12 car alarms were screaming in that wilderness. The sound was deafening. Imagine your situation. Alone in a terrifyingly silent, haunted place. No human in sight for miles. And suddenly, all the expensive cars behind you start shrieking, as if someone is tampering with them. I was terrified. I slightly lifted the curtain and checked both side mirrors. Nothing visible. I took the keys from the dashboard and one by one turned off all the car alarms. They have a remote disable function. I was shaking with fear. I had no choice but to sit and wait. Then it felt like someone walked up to the cabin. I strained my ears. Footsteps, very soft, deliberate, approaching the cabin. I held my breath so even my breathing wouldn't make a sound. I lay flat on the seat, ears toward the outside. It was confirmed. Someone or something was outside. It circled the truck slowly. The footsteps came close, then moved away, then came back. It stopped near my side. Through the thin curtain, I could sense a presence standing right there, as if checking if anyone was inside. Then I heard another set of footsteps approaching. Now 2 were there, standing near the truck, whispering to each other in some strange, terrifying language. Very low, eerie whispers. I can't describe how horrifying those voices were. At that moment, I was so scared that I urinated in my clothes. I had heard about spirits, read about them, but experiencing something like this so close, I never imagined it. They kept whispering for a long time. Then suddenly the truck shook violently, as if someone grabbed it and moved it like a toy. I controlled myself. No screaming, no panic. I started praying, reciting protective verses, and begged God for help. I was also worried about my companion, who had gone toward that light, hoping nothing happened to him. After some time, it felt like small children had also joined them. Tiny footsteps running around the truck, playing, shaking it from side to side. Then, from far away, a woman's voice called them in that same terrifying tone/language, as if scolding them. "What are you doing here? Why did you bring the children? Come home, leave this place." That woman's voice, though scary, was a blessing for me that night. It seemed God sent her as help. She called, and it felt like they all started moving away following her voice. Slowly, the area became silent again. I slightly lifted the left curtain to check if my companion was returning. Nothing visible, just darkness and terror. I didn't have the courage to look more. I sat back, kept praying, and waited. After a long wait, someone knocked on the truck door. I gathered courage, lifted the curtain. It was him. I quickly opened the door. He sat inside looking very shaken. I asked what happened. "Did you find anyone?" He said. "I saw something very strange. There was a hut-like house with a fire burning. Everything was there inside, but no human being. I called out loudly in all directions, waited for a long time, but no one appeared. No presence, nothing. Then I got scared that something else might happen, so I decided we should turn back from here and inform the company." I was in no condition to tell him everything right then. I was shaking badly. He asked why I looked so panicked. I said, "I'll tell you later." He offered to drive since I was too shaken, but the driver's seat was soiled because of fear, so I couldn't hand over yet. I turned the truck around and started driving back the same way. For the next 3 to 4 hours on that return journey, we kept feeling a constant presence, as if someone was about to appear at the right or left window any second. The road felt endlessly desolate and terrifying. Finally, we reached that same habitation where we had taken the wrong turn. We stopped, cleaned the truck, and myself had coffee and food at a diner there. I told him the entire story. The local diner owner asked where we came from. We told him everything. He said, "Exactly. That place is called Ghost Valley by locals. Strange incidents happen there often. Normal traffic doesn't go there. Only industrial trucks occasionally for work. Otherwise, no one goes. It's extremely haunted." We were stunned. We ate, freshened up, then continued on the correct route. This was the scariest experience of my life that I still remember clearly. I have another incident too, which I'll share in some other story,